Okay, I got a new thing to present here. Don't have much space or battery left, so I have to make this quick. Okay, here is a boombox I picked up from a car boot sale. Had to do some minor work to it to make the tape work again, because these buttons here were, well, they'd sort of fallen into the machine, but as you can see now, that all works. It has, well, like you can see, it has a tape. It has four-way speakers. Well, it says four speaker system. Yeah, 4 speakers. There's 2 main speakers there. A couple little piezo tweeters there. Like V Westlife once said, they don't really make enough sound to be heard over the main speakers, and that's pretty much the case in this one. But they do seem to increase the treble a little bit. Looks like it has 2 built-in microphones here, but there is actually only one. Balance control here, volume control here, headphone output, radio tuning here with tuning and record light, stereo and power light, mono stereo FM, function selector switch, and a tone switch. Usually there's a control to select how high you want the tone, but this one's actually got a switch to switch between low and high tone. Anyway, let's take a little look inside. Now you can see inside the tape compartment, you can see the spindles and the capstan and the heads, which I cleaned. It has this rather old-fashioned type of auto stop, and when the tape gets tight at the end, the tape pushes down on this little dooger here and triggers the auto stop. Most of the better auto stops are designed to trigger when this spindle stops spinning. So if this spindle gets jammed, it automatically triggers the auto stop, and it doesn't pull the tape all out and get it all tangled up in the machine. I'm sure some of you have experienced that. Anyway, let's take a little look further inside. Now you can see the inside of it. As you can probably see here, everything is all on one board. Even the power supply, which is over here, is on the same board. Usually there's a separate board by the transformer, but on this one everything's on the same board. There's the built-in microphone right there. There's the radio tuner section, tape section, and obviously power supply section. The amplifier is probably in the same part as the tape section of the circuit board. The speakers are only 1 watt each, and there are the piezo tweeters underneath the speakers. One of the belts wasn't very good, the belt that drives this wheel here. So what I did was I run it off the capstan flywheel, because there's 2 grooves in the capstan flywheel pulley, so a second belt can be added there. So instead of having this connected up to the motor, it's now connected up to the capstan flywheel. So now it's nice and tight. On the motor, even though it's upside down, it says, you can see when it was made, 30th of July 1986. So now we know how old it is, and my battery is on my camera is starting to go really bad now, so I'm just going to do some recording tests and reveal what type of bias the tape has, and I think that'll be that. I'll just get this plugged in. Well, that's the radio. Not tuned into anything, obviously. I think that was the AM. Anyway, let's just see what tape I've got in here. Chaz and Dave, don't want to record over that. Tape's in terrible condition though. Right, let's see what we got on this tape.
I couldn't quite hear you.
Well, I can definitely hear you. I'm just going to try and find a blank tape now. Okay, I found a tape I don't mind recording over, so I'm just rewinding it now. Best to stop it when it reaches the end, because the belts on this are now strong. It will stall the motor when it comes to the end of the tape in rewind or fast forward. Now I'm going to start recording. Wait for it to get past the leader. Now I've forgotten which side the microphone is in, so I think it's in this side here, so I'm going to talk over this side and talk into it. I am recording on the Matsui Model number is somewhere on this, but I've forgotten where it is. Anyway, seeing how well it records from the built-in microphone, I will now record from the FM to see how good that records, and then I will tune into nothing on the AM so we get a recording of silence to see how much background noise there is. And we'll see if this is AC or DC bias. So let's go on to radio. Switch on to FM. Now it's on the radio. Now just tune it to something.
Assess the common ground between the West and Islam, while warning that a relationship defined by differences...
My radio reception isn't too good here.
England Rugby Union head coach Andy Robinson is to take charge...
Sounds better on mono, actually.
He replaces Frank Haddon, who left at the end of this year's Six Nations Championship. In the city, the 100 share index closed up 4.
Okay, let's go on to find us some silence on the AM. Let's try long wave. Okay, I think that's about as silent as I'm going to be able to get it. There must be a little interference here. Okay. Now I'll go back onto tape. Now, for the AC bias test. Now, I could rapidly advance the tape by holding the pause down a little bit like this. The tape is now going faster. But that doesn't really make it go fast enough to do the AC bias test. So, gonna hold down fast forward and record. Okay, now recording. I'm trying to record anyway. Okay, let's see how that went. Just rewinding the tape. Okay, let's hear how that recorded. Now, I've forgotten which side the microphone is in, so I think it's in this side here, so I'm going to talk over this side and talk into it. I am recording on the Matsui. Model number is somewhere on this, but I've forgotten where it is. Anyway, seeing how well it records from the built-in microphone, I will now record from the FM to see how good that records, and then I will tune into nothing on the AM so we get a recording of silence to see how much background noise there is. And we'll see if this is AC or DC bias. So let's go on to radio. Switch on to FM.
After the
He stressed the common ground between the West and Islam, while warning that a relationship defined by differences would only empower those...
England Rugby Union head coach Andy Robinson is to take charge of the Scottish national team. He replaces Frank Haddon, who left at the end of this year's Six Nations Championship. In the city, the 100 share index closed up 4.
Onto tape. Now, for the AC bias test. Now, I could rapidly advance the tape by holding the
pause down a little bit like this. The tape is now going faster.
But that doesn't really make it go fast enough to do the AC bias test. So, I'm gonna hold down fast forward and record. Well, there you go. I think that pretty much settles it that this has an AC biased cassette recorder inside it. And until next time, goodbye, because I'm really running out of space now.